looks like we're going to miss that harvest moon, totally eclipse and everything. It is so cloudy, just low clouds just hanging over the area tonight. But I hope you don't have low clouds hanging around in your life. If you do, it'll help us. Let us help you get rid of them. We are the American Adversaries, coming to you live. That's right, folks. As usual on our 3-hour Sunday evening classic tour, we're live on FM 105.5 and AM 660 The Answer as we come to you from the mercury-free studio complex. Don't forget, for the very best in mercury-free dental care, call my dentist, Dr. James E. Hardy, at 407-678-3399. And don't forget to ask him about his great book, Mercury Free, and why you, too, and all of your loved ones should be mercury-free. That stuff makes you stupid. We make you smart. That's why I like to have you tune in, and we appreciate you doing that, and we get smart from you, too. Seems like we might have gotten our Who Said That contest wrong tonight. The answer, the quote is, if the world were perfect, it wouldn't be. We attributed it to Larry Yogi Berra, but we have our good friend Tim on the line who says we got it wrong. Tim, how can that be?
Hey, boo-boo.
Smarter than the average bear.
I thought it was Yogi Bear from Jellystone National Park.
That kind of does sound like something Yogi would say, but not that Yogi. But, you know, there's a controversy over whether Yogi Berra got his nickname from Yogi Bear, or the other way around, whether Yogi Bear got his name from Yogi Berra. And evidently Hanna-Barbera claims that he didn't, but who knows?
Right, and Yogi was going to sue him, but then he just dropped it because he figured it was helping him more than it was hurting him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and he was a good-natured guy. He was a fun-loving sort, you know, and that's why he was a lot of people's favorite, and very understandable.
Now, that was a great interview. I enjoyed hearing it the second time. It's unfortunately those that need to hear it don't listen to talk radio.
You're absolutely right, and I was serious. You know, Mike McBath said, you know, we need to send some of these books to the politicians. Unfortunately, none of them would read it. They'd be afraid to read it in most cases. I believe they don't want to know these things.
Right, not even to be able to lecture with it in class. It's just unbelievable.
No, that's right. That's why I was so impressed this morning by Ben Carson when on the ABC Talking Head show in response to, well, what is it about Islam that isn't consistent or compatible with the Constitution? And old Ben Carson said, well, first of all, it calls for the subjugation of women. It does not allow gays. And all of a sudden, then she wanted to talk about something else. Yeah. So they don't want to know, or they don't want anybody to know what the real threat that Islam brings to this country, whether it comes here in the disguise of a benevolent, nice form of Islam, or whether it comes here at the point of a gun or a blade. It is Islam just the same. Right. And that's what Ben Carson is saying. And I think that's why, you know, Carl Jackson talked about how his Facebook numbers have been skyrocketing, is because people know the guy is talking truth, and he's talking it in a fashion where if you're not careful, you'll hear it before you know it. And if you didn't want to hear it, look out, because he just told you.
All right, why do you call this moon a harvest moon when everybody else is calling it a blood moon?
Blood moon is a phrase in terms of the frequency during the year. The harvest, this is the harvest moon because traditionally this was the time of year when crops are harvested, and they would use this moon, the full moon, to harvest crops by, because they might start in the morning and not end until all the crops are harvested, whenever that is. So the light of the moon would help light the harvest.
Well, that was my understanding of always this moon.
Right.
But they're saying that because this moon is going to catch every sunrise and every sunset across the world,
right, that
it is going to turn red.
Well, that's what the blood moon has more to do with the timing. Technically, if you want to be totally accurate, this would be the harvest blood moon, or the blood harvest moon, because it is traditionally the harvest moon, this particular time of the year. I mean, if you look in your almanac, that's what it's going to say.
Right. The blood moon is for the second full moon in a month.
Right. So it has to do with the timing of the full moon. So,
Right.
All right, Tim, God bless you. Thank you.
48 days to go.
48 days till our cruise. What about the eating contest? You coming up tomorrow?
I was going to, but I didn't win the gift certificate, so now it's in jeopardy.
Well, you still got them 20% off coupons you can redeem.
Yeah,
and who knows? You may win that drawing for the free cruise, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
All right.
Okay, we should be there. My wife's off work. Everything looks good.
Okay, and what we're talking about, folks, in case you don't know, is our Spaghetti Eating Challenge, our first annual Spaghetti Eating Challenge to celebrate 5 years on the air here, and that will be at our favorite restaurant, Italian restaurant, and that is, of course, Cafe Positano. You're all invited, no cover charge. And someone else who's invited but probably can't make it because she is coming to us live tonight from L.A. Of course, it is sunny. That's Patricia Summerlin, our California gorgeous lady of wrestling, girl. How you doing?
Sonny, you have no excuses. Only a few hours by plane.
It's sunny and 86 in Los Angeles today, guys.
Yeah, nice day going on out there in L.A.?
It is beautiful. It's another beautiful day in California.
All right. Well, we got a lot to talk about tonight. First of all, let's start with the Pope. Obviously, he's making a big impression just about everywhere. What's the kind of media coverage that he's getting in L.A.?
Everyone loves him, and some people actually snub the poor guy. I really like him because you know why? He went to downtown. He had a choice to go visit all the wealthy and, you know, do all their meetings and events and attend. And
right.
Where he was right here in the hubbub of downtown, reaching out to the poor.
Yeah, well, that's his MO. That's his style.
That is the greatest. And this little girl got to hand him a letter. That was the most precious thing. This little Latin girl was so happy, and it made, you know, news headlines here. I'm sure it did there as well.
Oh, yeah.
He made a big impact. And from what I understand in Philly, too, where a million attended.
Yeah, that's
over
tonight.
A million, they said, huge crowd.
Yeah, that was tonight. As a matter of fact, it's probably just wrapping up now. If it not.
Yeah.
And then he is, of course, heading back. But yeah, obviously, and most popes, generally speaking, do get great receptions. This guy, obviously, because of the way he connects with people, like you mentioned, the little girl, he has them stop his car so he can get out and go talk to people in the crowd.
Exactly. He's the real deal.
He knows how to work the crowd. He knows how to work, use his popularity, shall we say, in a positive fashion for the message that he is carrying. Speaking of the message, though, other than style, what are people talking about? Are they talking about anything in particular that he has said?
Well, they like his funniness. The man can crack some jokes. His humble ability. Yeah. And just the fact that he was down here in downtown where most people don't enter, you know, and many popes before have not. He's the first. He's the first and foremost that has made an impression and reached out to what is real in this world, the domestic. I think he stands, and I want to say he's compared to Bernie Sanders, by the way, because they are for the people.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. There are a number of people who have noticed the similarity in many of the things that he stands for, not with just Bernie Sanders, but also with Barack Obama. For instance, the climate change business and all of that.
Oh, yeah.
And,
he's intent on that. And that's what people are like, oh, he's okay with it. You know, he doesn't know about what does he know about global climate change? And that's probably the negative end of it that I've heard. But, you know what I've learned, though, a lot about democratic socialism. And I have to say, I think I'm a democratic socialist, guys.
Oh, no, my God, you can't be.
I know, but listen to this, and listen well. Okay, here it goes. A democratic socialist is non-Marxist socialist or a communist. A democratic socialist is still a capitalist, just one who seeks to restrain the self-destructive excesses of capitalism and, hold on here, I got a break in my channel here, channel government usage of our tax money into creating opportunities for everyone. Democratic socialists believe that both the economy and society should be run democratically to meet human needs. not simply make profits for a greedy few?
Well, that's, that is, it's trying to distinguish itself, but democratic socialism has been what they've been doing in Europe for years. And unfortunately, it doesn't work because the beauty of market economies, which is commonly called capitalism, but that's not really a total description of it. But market economies, capitalistic economies, if you will, is that the lack of government controls actually allows the economy to produce more wealth and distribute it to more people than those economies with government controls. The problem with democratic socialism is that it sounds good, but it only works as long as you have other people's money to take to give to the poor people. When you run out of that money, then what do? And
I say tax the damn rich, though. I'm sorry.
Well, I understand.
Tax all the Trumps in the world, and let's start living life for all the people that are struggling out there.
All right, but
it wouldn't hurt, would it?
Well, no, but see, I prepared taxes for a long time, Sonny, and Jeff.
Oh yeah, you know.
And people would say that all the time, and I'd say, look, all right, let's add up all the money that the richest people in the world have, and let's say that we're going to tax all of it. We'll take all of it from them. It wouldn't pay the government for but maybe a month or two of expenses. See, the problem is the rich don't have enough. The rich have to keep making wealth in order to provide taxes. And when you restrain their ability to create wealth, then you restrain their ability to pay taxes on that wealth. Now, that doesn't mean that there couldn't be certain situations where, say, some rich people are making out like bandits and perhaps aren't being treated fairly. For instance, Donald Trump has singled out hedge fund managers, and we've talked about them on our show. Hedge fund managers basically do nothing but they're sort of elaborate mutual fund guys, and they pay a 14% tax rate no matter what they earn. That's probably not right. But, to think that simply taxing rich people is going to solve our ills doesn't see the full complexity of the problem. The great thing about market economies is that people don't run them per se. And so they are naturally able to fill needs where they're needed.
Okay, but do you agree with what Bernie Sanders says about everybody has the right to own a home?
No.
Have a job. First of all, have a job, own a home, and thrive in this world pretty much without cutting out a few things. I believe everybody is entitled to that.
No.
See, that's where we have to stop you. See, that's what the Soviet Union's Constitution said. The Soviet Union's Constitution said everybody in the society had a right to a place to live, and a job, health care, and food. And of course, the Soviet Union collapsed, and nobody wanted to live there. They wanted to leave there.
Except for the elite, which had everything because they stole it from the people.
Right. See, no, when you say people have a right to a house, that means somebody has to give them that house. If they don't want to work for it, they have a right.
No, that's what I'm saying. They need to work, but providing they do get a job. Because everybody has a right to have some sort of... In other words, are we cheating all the people that don't have an education or can't afford to get an education to get that job, so on and so forth? The prospects of thriving in this world is to give everyone a chance, because everyone deserves a chance. Everyone is born, everyone in this whole entire world, we're born by one mother. No one's different, except for God, of course.
Sure, but...
Right? Correct? So what do we do from that point on?
Sonny, I'm an immigrant. I came to this country because of the opportunities that it possessed. It took me 5 years to get my green card. And so it took me 5 years of legal fees and all the rest. And I came here with a wife who was 7 months pregnant. I worked 2 jobs. One of them was as a day laborer during the day, and the other one was as a day laborer at night. And I made it. This country says everybody has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It doesn't promise us happiness. It doesn't promise us a house. It doesn't promise us a job. It doesn't promise us a living wage. It promises us the pursuit of happiness. And for that, I'm not talking you in particular, but people need to get off their lazy butts and go out there and beat the bushes, and if they have to take a job which they don't like, until such time as they can find one that suits them, then that's what they have to do.
That I understand. I understand the pursuit of happiness, and that's true. But I'm saying, again, I married one. I mean, I married a man who needed his green card, had a very tough time here, but also worked here 14 years. They wouldn't give him his freedom. It took me to marry him, so I know that side of it very well. I sat in front of immigration for, oh my gosh, I'd say 4 years, and went through the whole rigmarole, and this was after 911,
right.
Not pre-911, and they put you through the ringer. So I get that. I understand that side as well, and I admire your, my ex is British as well, and he's a multi-millionaire. Well, okay, he works very hard. Yeah. He's got very good work ethic for that. Absolutely. I'm not saying people shouldn't just work not work, live off the welfare society. They need to get out there and work, and whatever it takes to do that.
Right,
but they have...
Yeah,
who creates the jobs? It's wealthy people that create jobs.
Right. The problem is that the rhetoric that Bernie Sanders and the Pope and the likes of Barack Obama are using words like right to jobs, right to houses, and things like that. It's telling people you deserve this just for existing. You don't necessarily have to work for it. Exactly. And that
that's the wrong message. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying there. Absolutely, Chris.
Well,
sure.
All right. Great discussion with you tonight, Sonny. We appreciate you bringing that to the table. And
Thank you.
All right. And you have a great week, and we'll talk to you next Sunday.